Hello, hello. Welcome to Tea with the Druid, Tea with the Druid 346. My name is Philip Carr-Gomm, and Tea with the Druid is brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. It's lovely to be with you live rather than in a recording, and it's great to see you arriving from Texas, West Yorkshire, Florida, York, more Florida, Boston, Mid Wales, Italy, New Orleans, Germany, Maryland, Gisborne, New Zealand, Belgium, Cambridge, the Southern Gulf Islands of British Columbia, Dallas, Texas, Michigan, New Hampshire, Tucson, Arizona. Great to see everybody. Freezing Poland, London, Lincolnshire, California, Edmonton, and so on. Great. Do make yourself welcome. Make yourself at home. Here we are, Monday, the 17th of February, 2025. It's good to be with you. As more and more people arrive in the circle, let's settle in and sit around the fire and just tune in. Let's take a few minutes to settle, moments to settle, I should say, and tune in. Tune in to the atmosphere in this clearing in the forest and our feeling state, how we're feeling inside. When you get a sense of how you're feeling, do please share it. It's always good to hear how people are feeling. Helps to bring us together in some way. So I can see more people are coming from Sussex and Scotland and New Zealand, Hawke's Bay this time, and worried, settled, overwhelmed, utterly miserable, mischievous, thankful, anxious, feeling tired, waiting for the other shoe to drop or the tide to turn, feeling content, tense, apprehensive, feeling good to be in the clearing, tired, in need, feeling cold and hopeful, sore feet but otherwise quite cozy, feeling relaxed, tired, rested, happy, relaxing, sleepy, stirred, high winds all around, sitting with a head cold, sick and a little tired, cozy, playful, heady with herbalism studies, longing for spring, satisfied, sad, need a new non-soul destroying job. Sorry, it's getting so fast now. Refreshed in my own little world, exhausted, chilled, distressed, calm, childishly eager and happy, grateful, sad and disappointed, peaceful, grateful, worn out, enjoying my birthday. Happy birthday. Cold with -35 outside. Crikey, where are you, Robin? Weary and wary. Energized, restless with the cold and wind, enjoying the snow, grieving over the sadness in the world, hoping a loved one can find peace of mind, a bit buzzy. Edmonton in Canada, that's where it's -35. Crikey, feeling wonderful. Hello from Brisbane, feeling hopeful. Tired from all the shoveling, Zoe. So what a range of feelings we can have. +29 here in Gisborne. So we've got Gisborne in New Zealand, which is almost 30 degrees and centigrade, and then Edmonton in Canada -30. And that range is also expressed in the various feelings that we're having. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling settled. I'm in my grandparent role, staying with my son's house, looking after my two grandsons, although they hardly need looking after because they're 18 and 11. I'm in my fulfilling my duty, which always feels good, I guess, but also out of love, and also working on the psychosynthesis course that I'm teaching at the moment. So I'm busy but also calm and contented and settled. Sometimes when I'm busy, I'm very frenetic, but I'm busy and calm, so that feels good. I wonder why so many people are feeling overwhelmed and anxious, as Gina says. Well, there's a lot happening in the world that's very distressing. And we don't have to go into the details today because we're bombarded by it and we see it in the news and we know about it. And we're in unprecedented times. And in thinking about this, it made me think of the concept of taking refuge. Now, here in the West, we tend to think of refuge as we talk about women's refuges from abuse, for instance. But the term is also used in Buddhism, and I believe in Jainism as well, but certainly in Buddhism, where it's a spiritual concept, but with practical, physical, emotional, as well as spiritual ramifications and meanings. And you take refuge in Buddhism, you take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. Take refuge in the teacher, in the teachings, and in the community that is gathered around the teachings. So that's a really interesting sort of threefold pattern. And whenever we talk about Buddhism, it can be quite easy to say, oh yeah, but we're kind of Druids and we're interested in Druidry, and you're in tea with a Druid, you're not in tea with a Buddhist. But what we've got to remember is the roots of the Dharmic traditions and the Druid traditions were almost undoubtedly the same. There's all sorts of commonalities, not only from a historical sense, because of the common Indo-European origins of these traditions, but also I believe in a metaphysical sense as well, in as much as that spirituality is drawing, even though they appear to be in different traditions, actually drawing from the same sources of truth. And so taking refuge means in this sense, this threefold way, it means making use of, taking advantage of, surrendering to the protection that is offered by a spiritual teacher, spiritual teachings, and the community that gathers around these spiritual teachings. David Jones is saying that the Hindu tradition has it as well. Lovely, that's fantastic. Thank you, David. So it's taking refuge in order for protection. It evokes the concept of protection. Well, why might we need protection? Well, the reality is that the world can be an extremely difficult and painful place to be in. And that just as we need protection from physical difficulty, from the cold and the wet, and from poverty, from attack, and so on, so at an emotional level, our hearts need protection and our minds need protection in order that we can be our full selves and be of more value in the world. So the concept of retreat shouldn't be confused with becoming an ostrich, hiding away, not facing reality, not engaging in activism. It doesn't mean any of those things. You can still take refuge in the sense of protecting yourself, but be an activist, be involved, be aware of what's going on around you, and being fully engaged in the world and loving the world fully. And so in that spirit, just today, in the lovely way things sort of meet and merge, I learned about an event that a project that I'm involved in, the ASA community, run by and started by Dr. Rosalind Watts, who you may know from a video that I made with her in Glastonbury when she and I talked about psychedelics, Druidry, and the trees. And Rosalind is a wonderfully gifted, incredibly intelligent person who has written a really interesting article that I only was informed about it today, so forgive me for not being able to talk about it completely, but let me just read you one little piece, because she's making a really interesting link, or drawing a metaphor between what happens when an ecosystem is under stress when a human community is under stress, as so many of us now and so many systems are, due to the unprecedented situation we find ourselves in, politically and socially. I'll just read a little quote from Rosalind's article. Declogging oppressive systems. The first stage of ecological succession is the declogging. Fires often happen in a forest when there is a lot of old, dry brush clogging up the system and lots of overgrown weeds. Our society has got clogged up with dominant old weeds that strangle systems of fair governance and suck up resources in the perpetual engorgement of their own grotesque deformity. Wow. Our society is overloaded with the decaying legacies of greed, old lobbies and loyalties, old rules, old privileges, old setups and structures, old rubbish. After the fires, we understand the flaws in the systems which were intersecting, mounting up to that moment of the dropped match. After the fire, the old overgrowth, the stuck old overstory is cleared. And this means that the sun will be able to get through to the new understory that's brewing and ready to rise up. Those long overshadowed seedlings on the forest floor will receive their fair share of light to grow into their fullest potential. But first, there is this time of silence, of ashen reflection, of sudden, sickening understanding. We are left bereft and questioning how we let it get to this. We look around for something good to hold on to. Now, I think that's just such a powerful, moving, beautifully written piece that speaks to where we are at the moment. Whilst we staggered on, we sort of knew that everything was rotten and decayed, but somehow we put up with it. But it's reached a sort of peak of insanity, and Rosalind says it so well. I'll give you the link to that. In fact, I'll give it to you now. And you can read the whole thing. It's in medium.com. So there's the link. But not only does this speak to our current feelings of being overwhelmed and upset by what's going on, but it also offers the hope that that there are seeds, that are seedlings on the forest floor that can grow into their fullest potential. And this is the value of taking refuge, where we can look after the seeds. I think very much that, I see Tea with a Druid as a place where we take refuge. We come together for half an hour or so once a week and just express our feelings, but then allow ourselves to drop into a place of safety and acceptance, and to recharge, to take care of the seedlings, to nourish hope and nurture hope. That's the value of taking refuge. That's the value of retreats. And so the ASA community is holding a free, what they call retreat with a TRRE, which is going to be a 2 or 3 hour online event with Rosalind speaking and presenting a tree meditation and a film. And you'll find it in the show notes, but also I've just popped the link there. And also sharing circles. So a very nice pattern of breath work, film, meditation, and then breaking up, a number of facilitators, and I'll be on that team, I think, helping, forming small breakout rooms on Zoom to support each other, and then going into a presentation about the ASA community, if that's of interest to you. So I can see lots of really interesting comments coming in. John King, that happened in my personal life 15 years ago. It's like when everything gets burned, like the forest fires. Rosalind's article starts with talking about the fires in LA, and what that means to the forest. Um, so something for you to read. Peter saying, as King Theoden said in Lord of the Rings, how did it ever come to this? I think that's something a lot of us have been thinking now. So something to look forward to on the 15th of March, that free online event, an article for you to read, thoughts around taking refuge, that I know there's a part of me that when things get difficult, I suppose the kind of warrior part of me, as opposed to the worrier part of me, the warrior part of me wants to, rise up and go out onto the front line. But another part of me knows that taking retreat, taking refuge is really important to resource myself. And so let's do that now. Let's resource ourselves. Let's take refuge in the sacred grove. Let's allow ourselves to, while gently being aware of being fully present with all 300 of us all around the earth, let's become aware of being in the here and now in front of our screens. And then if it feels okay, just allow yourself to gently close your eyes or lower your gaze. And then become aware of the room, the screen in front of you, the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you, and just allow that to gently start to fade in your awareness as you become aware of being seated in the sacred grove. Here you are in this clearing in the forest. 300 of us gathered in this clearing. We've traveled from all around the globe, from New Zealand and Canada and Britain and America, all across the earth, to be in this place at this time. There's a fire gently burning and crackling in the center, keeping us warm. The trees are standing as silent sentinels, offering us protection and guidance. And we allow ourselves to take in a slow, deep breath. Hold the breath and then breathe out fully and deeply as you settle more and more into an awareness of being in the sacred grove. One more time. Breathing in fully and deeply. Hold. And then breathe out fully and deeply. Becoming aware of the earth now and how wonderful it is to allow your weight to just be on the earth. Just allowing yourself to be supported by the earth. Tuning into the earth's slow rhythm. You sense all the life in the earth, and you sense how the earth and its magnetism and energy feeds your energy body. The wonderful thing is there's nothing for you to do simply by sensing yourself on the earth. The earth is able to feed your energy body, bringing a sense of stability and calm. And you sense the moisture in the earth. You sense the mycelium, the roots of the trees drawing the moisture up their roots, up into their trunks. And you become aware now of the trunks of the trees. Sensing each tree as a spirit, as a living being. You breathe in the perfume of the trees and the energy of the trees. And you notice the different quality of the tree energy, different to earth energy. And you feel it bringing you strength, bringing you a sense of uprightness, of dignity, of stature, of inner strength and protection. The trees are our allies and friends. You sense the branches of the trees now, the leaves, the needles. Maybe you see the bare branches of winter, or you see the leaves on the trees. And above the branches, the sky. And you breathe in the energy of the sky now. And as you breathe in and as you breathe out, you feel the energy of the sky flowing into your being. And you notice how different again the sky energy is, how different it is to the earth energy and the tree energy. This is sky energy you're breathing in. And this sky energy meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And as our meditation focus for today, let's have a poem by Mary Oliver. How I Go to the Woods. Ordinarily, I go to the woods alone, with not a single friend, for they are all smilers and talkers, and therefore unsuitable. I don't really want to be witnessed talking to the catbirds or hugging the old black oak tree. I have my way of praying, as you no doubt have yours. Besides, when I am alone, I can become invisible. I can sit on the top of a dune as motionless as an uprise of weeds, until the foxes run by unconcerned. I can hear the almost unbearable sound of the roses singing. If you have ever gone to the woods with me, I must love you very much. If we're in the woods together, and that's the poem by Mary Oliver. Now, being in the woods together, we must love each other very much. We can become invisible, sit as motionless as an uprise of weeds, until the foxes run by unconcerned. Hear the almost unbearable sound of the roses singing. We have our way of praying. A regular participant in Tea with the Druid sent that poem to me saying, "How I Go to the Woods" by Mary Oliver is very much in the spirit of where we go in the grove on our meditative journeys. I also believe that the italicized lines speak of the freedom to be in the circle, eyes closed or not. In other words, the non-dogmatic approach and inclusivity of Druidism. And she also defines what poetry is as well, as I ever tried to do myself in over 40 years of teaching literature. It's one of my favorite lines, and as you can imagine, I have a lot of lines I've read, recited or taught over that lifetime to choose from. I can hear the almost unbearable sound of the roses singing. She had a wonderful way of talking about the kind of work we do as Druids, saying, You focus our attention. Show us a myriad of things to be astonished by. And most of all, you tell about it. So let's tell each other about those myriad of things to be astonished by. Let's cherish our seed bank of hope, the seeds of a new dawn, the seeds of spiritual teaching and illumination that will help to redeem our world, to nourish each other, to support each other. Let us affirm our hope in the values of beauty, of love, of goodness, of kindness. And imagine now that your hands are just gently drifting up as you take the hands of everyone in the circle, saying that Druid prayer, we swear by peace and love to sit or stand, heart by heart and hand in hand. Marco Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow. Drinking in the peace and calm, feeling our souls deeply connected to the source of all life, inspired, hopeful, connected. May peace prevail on earth. May the calm and peace that we experience in this circle radiate gently outwards. May this calm and peace nourish and sustain us. You gently squeeze the hand to either side of you, allowing your hands to drift down now, to touch the earth, so your palms are touching the earth. May this earth be blessed. May the land be blessed. You lift your palms up and move them towards your chest, holding them over your heart, your chest, saying, may my life be blessed. May all life be blessed. May all lives be blessed. And as you do this, you feel the warmth traveling from your palms into your body and retaining all the positive thoughts and feelings and inspiration and nourishment that you've received. Retaining all these good feelings, you gradually allow your awareness of the sacred grove to fade as you become more and more aware of being fully present here and now. And you stretch your fingers and toes, and when you feel ready, you open your eyes. Thank you so much for being you, for being here. And I'm going to go and have biscuits with druids now. So I might see some of you over there in the biscuit session. That's for members of the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. But otherwise, have a lovely, lovely week, and I will see you next week. Okay, many, many blessings. Bye.